Hey guys, Rob or Panic's here. I suppose I'm not still getting used to not saying that. Rob Stellini here, and it's Thursday, so welcome to Q&A. Not Q&A, bollocks. I've had a bad one, but I'm not going to start again because this is all fun. Um, Welcome to Panic's A to Z was what I was trying to say. Today we're looking at Q, and Q is a bit of a tricky one. There wasn't any top thumbed up answer, so next week make sure you've thumbed up something from this video in the comments so I know what to talk about. But I'm going to pick HJW012, and he's gone for quantity and quality. And I think this is a particularly prevalent one in the graphics community, for want of a better term. Um, there are a lot of people that churn out videos day on day, week on week, and by putting out bi-daily videos, as in like 2 videos a day, you are severely cutting down on quality. Just mathematically, if you're doing a project, if I do a project and it takes me a week, I can do 1 video a week. If you're doing 2 videos a day, the most you can be spending on your projects is about 6 hours, maybe a bit longer, 8 hours tops. And that's at the absolute maximum. That's working at capacity the whole time. So the truth is, you're probably spending about 2 or 3 hours on a project, and that's it. And actually, the truth is, now it's much more difficult to get noticed. It's much more difficult to be an established, to become an established designer because of how competitive it is. So by churning out crap videos, you're doing nothing for yourself but just gaining a couple of views. And I've had people say to me, but like, if I do 20 videos and I get 10 views on each, that's 200 views. Like, it was 200 crap views. You're better off doing one awesome video and getting 200 views on that video on its own. That's far more. Well, that's what we're looking for as Yeousch graphics and recruiting and stuff. That's what we're looking for, is the ability to produce high quality stuff, not high quantity stuff. But there is a fine balance. Spending far too long on one piece that then you're not gaining a huge amount extra from can be a bit detrimental, because then you start to miss out on time for your next project. So I think it's always one of those balances that works in any industry, quality over quantity, and it's something that I've always led my life by. But the truth is, you have to have some level of quantity. It's not an excuse for just doing like 1 video a month. Guilty as charged. I'm massively low on uploads at the moment, and I'm finding that actually the truth is I'm falling below the quantity level, and there is an amount that you shouldn't go below if you want to remain active. There isn't a fixed number. It's not like 1 video per month makes you active. It's not. It's more than that. I'd say I'm still active because I'm doing all the Yeousch graphic stuff and all the Twitter stuff, and I'm generally still involved with everything. So the truth is, you have to make sure that that's another thing about quantity, is remaining active and current. It's really important that your quantity is a bit diverse. If you do the same shit week in, week out, then the truth is people get bored. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but you'll find it difficult to maintain an audience. So I just guess that important things to do with regard to quality and quantity would be get the right balance. Make sure you are putting out the best quality work you can do. That I get a lot of applications. I always find myself talking about partnership and how you get into Yeousch graphics on these channels, because you guys are out there watching this, wanting to be a part of us, and there are those of you out there that are more than good enough to be part of us, and we just need to find you. But the truth is, I had an application the other day, and he was seriously good, seriously talented. I won't say who it is. I think it's a he. But his application was bad. It went along the lines of, "Will you partner me? Here's my here's a screenshot of an image I've done." Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. When it comes to recruitment, because you have to stand out now, you have to put some time into what you're showing us. If you think you've got the requirements, even if you don't have the 1,500 subs or the 75,000 views, which aren't actually like a fixed number with us, if you have them, or if you don't have them, you think you're good enough, you've got maybe 500 subs and you get 600, 700 views a video, then put some time into thinking about how you would sell that to me. Because if you've got less than the number, more likely than not, it's going to be more difficult for you to get in. And that's just the way it is. That's one of the things. But if you can sell it to me, and if you can show why you want to be a part of our organisation and our movement, then normally I'll say, yeah, we'll get you in. Because the truth is, people that put time into an application are the sort of people that are going to continue to put time into their channel. So quality doesn't just extend to your uploads, but also how you carry yourself. If you're on Twitter, put good quality tweets out. Like, I tweet a lot. I like to think some people think some things are interesting or funny or relevant. Not all of it is. Some of it's just me thinking. Some of it's just total bollocks. But I think it's important to put quality and time into that. But going back to the application thing, a good quality application will be through Twitter, or if you've got me on Skype, don't spam it. But if you have me on Skype, then congratulations. You can message me for applications on Skype. I don't mind that, but don't get it right. Do the right application. That's what I'm talking about right now. When I'm looking for a channel, don't bother applying if you don't have a portfolio. Never bother applying, because no graphic. Think of this as a stepping stone into the industry. No graphic design company will ever hire anybody without seeing a portfolio or some body of work. Okay, now it doesn't have to be the best. It doesn't have to be a hand-coded website or anything like that. You just go on Carbon Made or something like that and just chuck up your best images, but have it so that they link to the video. And that's another important thing. I've said this a million times, and I'll say it a million more. Good art doesn't make good videos, necessarily. You can have the best quality background in the world, but if you're not interested in doing the video, then nobody's going to watch it. And actually, that's the truth, is we're partnering people for YouTube, not as a designer, as such. So, that's the second thing I want to see, is your channel. Don't send me just a portfolio. That's another error. Especially if your portfolio doesn't have a bloody YouTube link on it. How on earth am I supposed to find it? I can't. I'll just put it aside. I've got too many things to do to spend time researching into people, unless they're superbly good. But even still, I'd be reluctant to do anything with them because of the way that they're conducting themselves. So that's another important thing. Your channel, a good portfolio, not too big, not too bulky, but broad. Show me a whole range of things you can do. Maybe you've done some web design. You've done a few backgrounds. That's always good. I'm not suggesting we don't want people with backgrounds. And maybe some manipulations, some typographic work, something a bit outside the box, maybe an app design. I don't know. Stuff that isn't just the same old boring space backgrounds. Don't bother applying with that. We're not looking for people that can recreate a perfect space texture background. Just there's no skill in that anymore. It's too easy to do, and the truth is nobody wants to watch it anymore. So we're not looking to bring in people that do that. So that's the second part of your a good quality application, and the third part is your best video. Pick your best video, and the truth is that's probably the thing I'll look at first, is the best video. Now a good video should have not the best intro in the world. I'm not suggesting you need one of Ian's 50 quid intros or whatever, but a good brand, maybe a video border, but not necessarily. Good music, well thought out, nothing that's copyright. I'm not even going to bother looking at you if you've got something that's copyrighted. Actually, the truth is, I'm still a bit dubious about remixes, so I'm always a bit careful with them. And so you're going to want to give me a video that's not too long, not too short, is interesting to watch. You're showing stuff that you think is interesting. If you've done a background where you've cut out 50 FIFA players, show 2, and then stop it, and then come back to it when you've done all of them, or when you're doing the last one, because nobody wants to watch you cut out loads of people, unless it's part of a photo manipulation, in which case maybe you can get away with it. And be interesting. I do this thing where I speak over my videos just at the beginning to talk a little bit about what the project is. A lot of people won't read the description, believe me or not. Believe it or not, people just don't read the description, which is a bit ridiculous, really. Um, so always read the description when you're watching a video, but that's something different, I suppose. Just maybe talk a bit about it. You don't have to talk, but it's a nice extra. You can. I always like stuff that's synced to music. I try and make like when my final picture of whatever I'm doing shows that it's at some kind of drop or like a mellow point, and then it picks up again. That's when I show the image. It's just something like that. It just makes it just that tiny little bit more dynamic. And actually, you know if you're good enough. Don't bother applying if you're not good enough. That sounds really harsh, but if you're not good enough yet, don't bother applying yet, because the truth is, if you apply too early, you end up not blackmarking your name, but you add a stigma to you, and nobody wants that. So, I guess that's the important thing. Talking about quality, quantity, and a good quality application. That's probably what I'm going to sell this one as. So that was Q. That was a really tricky one. Q, A, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. Yeah, for Rob. No, please don't suggest talking about Rob. I'm not going to do it. You probably won't anyway. That was a bit big-headed. Maybe I'll. Nah. So R. Let me know in the comments what you want to see for R next week. I'll be back next Thursday. What you've been watching, by the way, is just a bit of branding for a clan called Nexus. It's not my finest work, but actually I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I've got a couple of other awesome stuff, awesome bits to put on one video on my own channel, and then a video on here next week for Q&A. So, it's not Q&A, it's A to Z. So I'll see you guys next week. Make sure you post in the comments what you want to see for R, and always what you'd have done for Q. Have a great week. I've been Rob Stoney. Goodbye.